Have you ever just stopped and really listened to the world around you? I don't mean the music or people talking. I mean the background noise, the low hum of your fridge, the click-clack of your keyboard. Well, we're going to dive deep into that today because according to a really fascinating field of study, those little sounds aren't just background fluff. They're actually building the very structure of how you think.
You know, we have this picture in our heads of the past being all quiet and peaceful, right? Sepia-toned and serene before all the engines and electronics came along. Well, forget that. That's a complete myth. The past was unbelievably loud. It was this chaotic, screeching wall of sound, iron wheels on cobblestone, vendors shouting, axles grinding. It was anything but quiet.
And this is the core idea from a chronoacoustician named Elias Thorne. His whole argument is that this constant aggressive noise didn't just annoy people, it literally constructed their inner lives. Think about that. The sound outside forced people to create this very rigid public persona and a very intense private repressed self. The noise of the world was literally shaping their souls.
So yeah, that's the field we're exploring. It's called chronoacoustics. And the theory is pretty radical. It says that history isn't just about big ideas and big wars. It's also driven by the everyday hums, clicks, and clatters that have been rewiring our brains for generations. So come on, let's listen to history, see what it has to tell us. Okay, our first stop on this journey, the Industrial Revolution. This era didn't just choke the skies with smoke, you know. It filled the air with a brand new sound, a relentless, pounding, mechanical beat that would completely change how we even think about time. And this was the sound. 120 beats per minute. Imagine the thunderous, perfectly synchronized rhythm of thousands of power looms all firing at once. It was a beat so loud you could feel it in your bones, a sound that drilled itself into the heads of workers for 12 hours a day. This wasn't just noise, it was the metronome for the modern age.
What's so wild is how you can actually track our changing relationship with time right here. We went from organic time, governed by the sun, the seasons, a church bell here and there, to mechanical time, ruled by the factory whistle, a sound, by the way, that's designed to trigger a stress response. And that beat, it didn't stay in the factory. It bled out into our culture, giving us things like marching bands and ragtime music.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Our free time started to sound exactly like our work time. That four-on-the-floor beat that you hear in almost every club today? Yeah, its great-great-grandfather was the deafening, synchronizing clatter of a 19th century factory.
All right, let's jump forward in time a bit. Now we're in the 20th century, and a totally new sound is starting to dominate offices and literature. That sharp, percussive clack of the typewriter.
Just think about the difference for a second. Writing with a quill pen is quiet. It's a whisper. It lets you write these long, flowing, wandering sentences. But a manual typewriter, it demands force. You have to hit the keys, tuck, 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 tuck. It's the sound of commitment, and it created a whole new style of writing, short, punchy, to the point. And you can see it in the data. This isn't just a fun theory. Look at this chart. It's a massive drop in the average sentence length in books after the typewriter took over. That tough, hard-boiled, factual style of the 20th century, it wasn't just a choice, it was an echo of the machine it was written on. It wasn't just a rhythm. Even the tiniest sounds had a huge impact. That little ding at the end of a line, that was a reward. A little bell that basically said, hey, good job, you finished a thought. Here's a little treat. It basically turned writing into a game, decades before we had apps for that.
Okay, let's shift from the office to the living room. For literally thousands of years, the social and sonic center of the home was the fireplace. But in the middle of the 20th century, a new sound moved in and took its place, and it changed the family forever.
The whole idea is called the electronic hearth. Think about a campfire. The sound is chaotic, organic, it crackles, it makes you lean in, it makes you talk to each other. But a television, it shoots sound out in a straight line. It's a beam. And to hear it properly, you have to stop talking and face it.
And I mean, look at this. The difference is just staggering. The living room literally did a 180-degree turn. All the furniture turned away from the family and toward the wall. Conversation died and was replaced by reception. For the first time, a whole nation was listening to the exact same voice at the exact same time.
And that brings us to today, to our world, an era that's defined not by some loud new noise, but by really profound and kind of unsettling new silence. The great muting.
Seriously, think about the last time you were on a train or in a coffee shop. The place is packed with people, but acoustically, it's a vacuum.
right? Everyone's got earbuds in, tapping away on silent glass screens. The sound of public life, the human voice itself, has been tucked away inside our own heads.
There's actually a name for this feeling, the haptic void. Remember being able to slam a phone down? That loud clunk gave you closure. It was a release. Now, if you're angry, you just tap a silent red icon on a piece of glass. The emotion has nowhere to go. We've lost all the little acoustic rituals that helped us process the world.
And look at this list of sounds we've lost. Each of these wasn't just noise. It was a sound of confirmation. The crackle of a page turning told your brain you were making progress. That screech of a dial-up modem, that was the sound of a gateway opening. We've just erased all of these little sonic signposts.
But wait, our world isn't totally silent, is it? No, because that silence has been filled with one very specific, very powerful type of sound. A sound that has been scientifically engineered to hijack your brain, the notification.
And this right here, this is the great acoustic battle for our attention. The steady, rhythmic clack of the typewriter encouraged deep, focused thought. But the sudden, piercing, and totally random ping of a notification is designed to do one thing: shatter your focus. We are becoming a culture of interruption because our soundscape is now a symphony of interruption.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's about recognizing what we've lost. We've spent decades engineering what you could call acoustic friction out of our lives. You know, the sound of a key turning in a stubborn lock or a car engine that's struggling. Those sounds gave weight and texture and information to our world.
And this is where it gets kind of dangerous. We've put on our noise-canceling headphones, we're driving our silent electric cars. In our quest for this perfectly quiet, convenient world, we have systematically deleted the natural, informative, and sometimes life-saving warning signs our environment gives us. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. By wrapping ourselves up in this cozy digital silence, what have we made ourselves deaf to? For all of human history, the sound of the world has shaped us. Now we're shaping it to be silent. What are we going to hear, or maybe more importantly, what will we fail to hear when the world really needs to get our attention again?
Please like and subscribe.